it's a program I went through that basically created the artist that I am today. So yeah, it's been fun. I've been my mind has been
Meditation
in a
and
lot
mental
of
health.
spaces in like the last.
Oh, men's mental health and meditation. Is that? It's okay.
Yeah, I got
I was like, let me check.
No. It's, no.
All right. All right. What's up, man?
We've
Doing
just
pretty
been
good.
kind of
Chopping it up.
Yep. So you can, I'm Devontae, the Vice President of for Black Men Health. Darren couldn't be here today. He's a little under the weather right now. So I'm stepping in. I would have been here either way, but I'm stepping in as the more vocal when I'm typically less vocal. But we have Joshua here. He's going to give us some information, and we might do a little bit of like practicing beginner breath work. So I'll let you introduce yourself to all of us because it's my first time being introduced to you as well.
Okay. Yeah, so thank you guys for showing up in the space, being present. I appreciate it because we all know how this goes in terms of us getting into these spaces, and it takes a lot of courage to be in these spaces. So I just want to acknowledge that. So my name is, of course, Joshua Tree. And for me personally, my journey started from a heartbreak, unfortunately, and that heartbreak led me to either dying, because I was close to suicide ideation, deep depression, or figuring this shit out, right? And when I say figuring this shit out, I mean, we all know that we've been conditioned not to deal with our emotions, and around that time frame, I didn't have the tools. I didn't know there was tools available. I just thought that I was supposed to suppress my emotions, and that's what I did to about 28 years until I had a huge awakening and realized I need to do something, right? And so along that journey, it's probably been about 10 years or so of me just going down my healing journey, going through many modalities, many certifications, many healing spaces, and just figuring out what does it mean when we say processing our emotions? What does it mean to understand the nervous system? What does it mean for us specifically, for men, to become aware of the social conditioning that keeps us in a space where we're either suffering for no necessary reason or we don't know how to cope. And I think that, of course, you guys, I'm not sure if you're aware, but, you know, in terms of the men are dying, you know, more and more each day due to suicide, you know, and we got the highest rate for that. And I'm very passionate about that because I was once that person. I could have been part of that death toll number. And I think that the fact that we've been so much socially conditioned, men really don't know how to function or process. And it's huge, it's really huge. So yeah, like I said, you know, I went down this whole rabbit hole discovering all these things, and breath work really changed the game for me. I got certified in maybe 2-3 years ago. And I had a huge awakening. I was in Long Beach, was with a friend. She was like, hey, let's go do some breath work. I'm like, what is that? I'm breathing, what's up? Like, what are you talking about? And she was like, just come with me. Went with her, laid on a yoga mat, gave it about 5-7 minutes, crying. Didn't know why, I was just crying, right? And so that made me realize that there's something about the breath that's not talked about. It's just not just oxygen in and out. It's more to it than that, right? So me personally, anything that impacts me on a deeper level, I have to get into it. I have to investigate. I have to understand the mechanics. And so I became a breathwork facilitator. I'm also an online coach, helping men with their subconscious mind, limiting beliefs, fear of being seen, visibility wounds, imposter syndrome, lack of confidence. Anything that you can hear in your mind that's a narrative that keeps playing out and you don't know where it's coming from, we go directly to the source and we uproot it and we change it. So I'm big on subconscious work, and I'm also just like overall holistic wellness. That's just my whole vibe, okay? So for today's presentation, I just really want to talk more, so I just had to put some points up, some talking points. I want to talk more about this idea of mental health, Also, I have an analogy, of course, of how emotions are processed in the body. So I use an analogy called the pressure cooker. We're going to talk about some coping mechanisms, ways that we cope, and we're going to talk about healthier ways of cope, which is going to be some practices towards the end. We're going to talk a little bit about the nervous system and why it's important to have a regulated nervous system. And I'm also going to show you guys how to evaluate the tension that's stored in your body. So, and I'm going to just speak briefly about that. Sometimes we may think that we can't feel, but the fact that you think that you can't feel, or the fact that you say, well, I can't feel anything, is you feeling it. It's just not the feeling that you might have, that you may not want to feel. So like, for instance, a lot of us are closed off. That's a feeling. So we might say, oh man, I don't feel nothing. You can't not say you don't feel nothing. You feel something. It's just not probably something that you want to feel, right? And so we're gonna be able to gauge that feeling or that tension and be able to process it, right? So, like I said, let's talk more about the mental health space and like what that really means and how I see it. So, like I mentioned earlier, right? We all know about social conditioning, right? We know that mental health is a top priority in order for you to thrive in life. We know that. But on a social level, I think the biggest detriment to mental health and overall wellness is understanding why we function the way we do, why we have the behavior patterns that we do. And a lot of times it stems from something that's been socially conditioned into us, right? And so when I talk about mental health, I'm not talking about, hey, did you go to a therapist today? I'm talking about biology. I'm talking about the reason why you need to process your emotions, because say for instance, or just make it real simple. When you was a child, you never once thought twice about, should I process these emotions? You just automatically cry. That's the natural body's response to letting go of a lot of stress, naturally, right? But of course, we've been taught the mantra, men are not supposed to cry. This goes against nature's law. We are products of nature. So that's unnatural for us not to release emotions. So when we have something, what I like to call a pressure cooker, where you have all this pressure, right? Synonymous to emotions being built up in the body, right? How do you release the pressure? Now, if we go back to the narrative of we've been socially conditioned, right? Then that's the first response that starts to suppress the emotion. As soon as you feel it, you go right to the belief. Belief says I can't feel. Belief says I can't cry. Belief says I can't. And then what you do, you listen to the narrative and you go against your natural anatomy, your natural biology. You don't release. The body can't function like that. So when we talk about mental health, we're talking biology. You're going against your own biology. And that's what makes understanding your nervous system and understanding your emotions so important. Because you can't go against biology. That's life. You know? And so I think that, like I said, in the Black community especially, we have to be more mindful of our programming. If you can address the program, find ways to change the program, you will operate differently. That's just plain 1, 2, 3, right? It's not that deep, but it is deep because it's. Yeah, exactly, right? And the more that you be in environments like this where you have people who are bringing awareness to things that you may not be aware of, you take that wisdom, right? You take that knowledge and you apply it to yourself. And so I think that at this point in our lives, I think a lot of people are aware that we need to be more mindful of our health and wellness. And someone like you or someone like you who have done whatever you guys have done on your journey, y'all come through and y'all share your wisdom, right? And y'all share with the community what it is that you do, because all of us are trying to help each other. All of us are trying to assist each other in some type of way, right? So like I said, the pressure cooker analogy is that pressure being built up. And so when you look at a pressure cooker, it has a little lever at the top. You turn that lever, it allows the pressure to be released. So my question would be is, how do you release pressure out your pressure cooker? And that goes to how do you cope with your emotions, right? So before we get into that, I just want to ask you guys, how do you guys cope with your emotions? What are some strategies and practices that you use when you're having a day? What is your go-to?
Mine is exercise.
Exercise, okay.
Particularly being outside.
Mm-hmm.
So like when the time change, it don't get dark till 9 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
That is where I thrive because I'm able to go outside and sweat,
Yes.
work it out. Particularly in this season, I've been doing a lot of running,
Mm-hmm.
and just that rhythmic pace helps me work through or sort a lot of my thoughts.
Yes.
Yeah, just doing things like that really helps me manage my mental health.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm big on health too. That's actually how I got out of my depression. I started just doing push-ups, and I didn't know nothing about hormones. I didn't know nothing about dopamine and serotonin, and I just started feeling good. I'm like, yo, it's something about exercising, and that was a game changer. I tell people I literally got out of suicidal ideation, depression, doing push-ups, and I didn't understand the power of the movement. You know, so yeah. So, you guys want to share anything?
I actually, I love walks. I've been inconsistent as of recently, but I find that I'm my best self when I wake early.
Yes.
So I'm typically, when I'm in my groove, I'm a 5 a.m. guy.
Yeah.
I do 5 a.m. walks. I live right off of the streetcar line, right off of Carrollton.
Okay.
And so roughly Carrollton and Claiborne, walk from there to St. Charles and back to the house, 5 a.m. That's one of my, it's something about starting the day that way and then giving and pouring into myself before, I get into the world. It just kind of sets me up for success.
Yeah. Yep. I have that same routine. I like to get up early in the morning. I feel like when you start your day with doing something that's a bit challenging and moving the body, I feel like your day is just, you got a W for the day.
Yeah.
So yeah, I appreciate you sharing that. Anything you would like to share? Or?
Well, I'm a little different though.
Okay.
That's fine.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm trying to learn, so
No, you're doing great. I mean, I'm doing the physical and I'm doing the exercising and I'm doing the workouts and I just wish I liked it.
Yeah.
You don't like it, yeah.
Because I mean, I spent most of my life, just doing stuff behind a desk, just working, just
Yeah.
not doing the environment. But the workout stuff, I'm trying to stick with it. But you asked about what are the things that I'm doing
To cope
help
with,
my pressure cooker.
yes,
To deal with
yes.
the stressors and stuff
Yes.
that I'm doing. I'm working on a book. Most of my writings and my teachings have been so serious, kind of depressing. So now what I'm doing is that I'm trying to focus in on, I'd like to do some writing and stuff in the area of comedy.
Okay.
Because in terms of what you were saying about pressure cooker, I just think that comedy, laughter, that sort of thing.
That's medicine too.
It's
Yes.
medicine also.
Yes.
And I think that even for those times where I get so stressed out or I'm mad or depressed or whatever, I gotta turn on something like
funny.
Richard Pryor.
Yeah.
Richard Pryor show. I don't know if you guys remember.
Yep.
Yeah.
I turn on episode Let's Shoot.
Must be the truth.
The Richard Pryor show that was only on for one season. It was only on the air for one season, but it just had, and I just started laughing. So the healing part from comedy, I'm trying to revisit as mental health, and so I think that'll have something to do with it.
Yeah, I appreciate you sharing that. Yeah.
And I just want to say, I absolutely understand.
Right. You said different, but that's good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Once it get cold, I'm gonna be watching the same.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
And then for me, when it's tropical depressions and Jumanji and stuff, and it's like that takes away my little sliver of joy because it's like it's muddy out there, and it's like, man, I might go to the living room and do a little yoga, some push-ups,
Yeah.
but it's nothing like that nice it's like
Outside.
3 miles. That's just
Yeah.
But don't you find that is something about masculinity, though, is that we tend to exercise a lot of our feelings through
Yes.
something
Yes.
physical or athletic.
Yes.
Which is great. But if you're into music or if you're into things that are a little bit softer, I wonder if that would be considered masculine.
100%. I mean, think about it like this too. So also I'm an inner child practitioner. So,
Okay.
Basically I help people heal the little boy and a little girl inside of them, right? And so when you think about little boys and girls, when you put them in two separate categories, especially when they're young, you see boys are more active, right? They can't sit still. You see girls are more reserved, right? And so naturally we're the moving energy. So that's why we like to do things that deals with movement. And that's why women are more reserved, and they get to sit still and do more processing with their emotions. But I find that sometimes it creates an imbalance because sometimes some women need to move because they're too still, and some men need to sit still because they move too much. And so me personally, I don't like to categorize it as a masculine, feminine thing. I kind of look at it as like universal. Because when we were children, we had the drawings, we had the creativity, we had the painting, and it was not a gender thing, it was more so this would provide fun and joy in our life. And I think that, and I thank you for sharing it too, because I think that I feel like what you're discovering is those parts of you that you may have like sealed off that was just like, yo, I just want to laugh. I just want to have a good time, you know? And I think for us, we do carry a lot of weight on our shoulders in terms of how we need to function as men, and sometimes we need the permission for it to be like, okay, you know what you're doing is actually masculine, or you know what you're doing is actually manly. And I had to break out of that paradigm because I noticed when I was going through what I was going through, that's what had me staying where I was at. The fact that I couldn't express my emotions, right? And I think that's where, like I said, the social conditioning is so detrimental because we don't want to like say, F it. We just like, I gotta abide by this governor that says I can't feel, right? And I'm just so big on like understanding your mind and how to master it. And so, I don't know if I answer your question, but I think that, yeah, like 100%, bro, 100%. Like, and especially if it's bringing you joy. I would never ever negate anything that's bringing me to a space of peace. Because that's what we all need at the end of the day. We all crave peace in some type of fashion, right? So, and by the way, thank you guys for sharing that, all right? So, we all have our go-tos, right? Now, these are what most people also do, right? Excessively. So they may smoke, they may drink, have sex, overeating, doom scrolling, playing video games, and become a workaholic. Now, okay, it's okay to drink, right? Like drink some wine every now and then, right? It's okay to have sex, right? Who don't want to have sex, right? It's okay to eat, right? I'm not saying don't eat. What I'm saying is don't overly excessively do any of these things because that means you're out of balance and you're trying to get back into balance. So let's just say, for instance, video games, right? If you play over excessive amounts of video games, that means you're isolating yourself. This is your man cave. This is how you cope. But also on a more deeper level, however you dealt with your emotions as a child is how you're going to deal with your emotions as an adult. So say, for me personally, my mom and my dad, especially my dad, was very strict. So to try to not get into that, I'll go in my room. That was my safe space. Who was in my room? Video games. So I said, well, he's in the room, he's in the kitchen yelling. I don't want to go in there, so I'm going to just stay and do this, right? Now that creates a pattern, right? That's the behavior pattern. Now, when you get in relationships, let's just say relationships, you get into relationships, whenever you feel like, I don't want to deal with this person, you're going to go right back to what you used to do when you was a child. It may not look like it, but that's what you're doing, right? If even like for, people who are obese, right? If they grew up in a family where they saw a lot of like overeating to process or to support their emotions, they're going to be an obese person. Because you observe what you got from your parents and it becomes you as an adult, right? So it was one that someone I think had a challenge with. Okay, so doom scrolling, right?
Doom scrolling. Yeah,
right.
And being a workaholic. That's a doom scrolling, like just playing
on it, yeah, like on social media.
In the phone.
This scrolling, this like you in like zoned out. Yeah, doom scrolling. Now I'm this shit right here. They have literally, there's this documentary called Social Dilemma, and they show you how they psychologically.
Yeah, I think I watched one a couple years ago, Social Network or something like that. But that's why I don't do TikTok at all, but still like Instagram, a little bit of Facebook, but the name of the game. It's not social media anymore. It's like social manipulation.
Yeah, 100%. And so this right here, I've found ways to cope, but I was going to say that sometimes when you're in the dooming state, it may feel like a form of relief because you like laughing at certain things. You're seeing a lot of this novelty, because if you're a person who's very intellectual, it starts to provide a lot of dopamine, so you feel like, yo, I'm getting a fix. But the trap is that it's a temporary fix, and then that doesn't mean that the emotions that you're feeling in the moment has dissolved. It just means you distracted yourself. And so a lot of these things are distractors. They're not really processing. They're not really coping. They're just distractors, right? And like I said, sometimes if we don't know the tools and strategies to help us cope, to cope with our emotions, we go to what we know. That's just by default. You can't do nothing different. You haven't learned nothing different. And like I said, for us men, we haven't been taught how to deal with our emotions, right? So yeah, so these are I would say these are no-nos, right? But just no, but no, yeah, no, whatever, you know, like in moderation, right? Yeah, you know. And so
I would even say, like, again, I've been in a really interesting season, but I would even say just anything in excess. Because even though, like, I enjoy running, I can't always do it.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So, like, I still got to come home and I still got to figure out, even though I sorted the thoughts while I was running, I still got to come home to them and, like, act on them. You know, so I feel like it's a really great point, you know, and I think sometimes people even run to things that may look healthy, but they're still running from, like, the
yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes, and
that's the perfect way to look at it.
Yes.
You're running from the thing.
yes.
Instead
No
of
point
processing.
intended, right? No point intended.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, but that's a perfect point, and that's yeah. Thank you for sharing it, because that's really what I want to highlight too. It's like you said, if you're running, it's a season where you can't run outside. Then it's like, okay, shit, what else do I do? And so, yeah, it's very important to just try to, you know, incorporate different things, do different things. Like, I wish there was like a bunch of, I wish there was a bunch of like hiking trails out here, because I went hiking in California, and first time experiencing it, it was an experience, but I find that, you know, doing something like hiking, walking up these steep cliffs, and it's different. You know, it's like, you know, for us as black people,
I enjoyed that in California as well.
yeah, you know, it just out here is swamps, bro. You know? Okay, so, all right, so then let's talk a little bit about the nervous system, okay? So just keep it short, the nervous system is your body internal communication that scans your environment for threats and safety, all right? Now, let's talk about a dysregulated nervous system. So I'm pretty sure you guys may or may have not, but you see it's very popular now that people keep talking about nervous system regulation. So what are they saying, right? So to keep it simple, the fact that we have a pressurized cooker and we keep building up pressure, and we don't have certain tools to help release the pressure, the nervous system starts to get dysregulated, meaning it starts to stay in a flight or flight response, meaning it gets into chronic stress mode, meaning that everything seems like a threat, right? So this, say for instance, I use a relationship analogy. You come home and your girl's washing the dishes, and she said, "Oh babe, take out the trash." And you'd be like, "Take out the trash? I just got home." Attitude, right? But why is it attitude? Because you're dysregulated. You're hype, you're tense. You haven't had a chance to relax. That's why when some men do get into these spaces, like go home, they say, "Yo, give me 45 minutes. Matter of fact, I'm gonna just sit in the car. I'm not even gonna come in." Because they're trying to find a way to regulate. So they need that time to allow that energy, that pressure to come down. But if they don't have the tools, it just stays up here. And so it's like you're like a loaded gun. It's like anything that someone tells you, you're automatically responsive. You're automatically going to fight. And it depends on your state, because some, like I said, it's fight or flight. Some people who are more fighter, right, dominant, they'll be more active, like cursing you out, want to fight, want to be very like, you know, combative and argumentative. More flight people, those are the people who will go off in isolated areas, stonewall, not talk to their partner, just kind of just go play video games, don't want to be bothered, right? It's gonna go either way, and that's your dominant trauma response. You're gonna do either or. So it's even, of course, to bring it to your awareness. If you notice that you're about to get into a state of flight, like you say you with your partner, right? And you say, "You know what, babe, I don't want to talk." Okay, now it's gonna last 2 days, 2 minutes, 20 minutes, however, because it all depends on how you cope. But if you wind up being away from your partner for a long time, that means you're still dysregulated because you don't feel safe, right? So when she said, well, babe, come talk to me, it's like, I don't want to talk, because eventually you're going to want to yell, because you're going to get agitated because she keeps, but it's not her, it's us. We don't know how to regulate. So, because our women has to be our safe space, right? So when we talk about dysregulated nervous system, we're talking about a nervous system. Think about a smoke detector, right? It works properly. Smoke comes in, goes off. Now just imagine that smoke comes in, goes off, but it never shuts off. And so you just go to work, come back home, smoke detector on, leave, go, like, what the smoke detector going on for 24 hours a day? You're gonna automatically think something wrong, right? It's a malfunction. So you're gonna call somebody to come fix it. That's kind of like how your nervous system is when it's not regulated. You're just in a constant state of having your alarm go off, right? And also that's of course what creates the high blood pressure, because your cortisol levels are very high. So your blood pressure is pumped up, and so you start to have high blood pressure. You start to have other illnesses, stomach issues, digestive issues, because your nervous system is connected to everything. So everything's activated. And I even like to use that analogy because they say, of course, your nervous system is so sensitive, it's just as sensitive as it's like, ancient times. If a saber-toothed tiger was to try to attack you, right? That's what that nervous system is used for, to fight off an animal. Now, translation, to modern times, we ain't fighting no goddamn saber-toothed tigers, but what are we fighting? I realize it's humanity. It's the way we socialize with each other. Just think about if we leave out this room, right? And we open the door for someone and they don't say thank you back. Think about how sometimes people feel reacted by that. It's like, man, this motherfucker didn't tell me good morning, they didn't tell me. Think about that. Like, we are that level of sensitive. And that level of sensitivity is activating your nervous system, whether you realize it or not. So it's important to have awareness on what are you giving so much of your energy to, so much of meaning to. Because I think for us as men, we have this bit of pride where we want the respect. And if someone doesn't say good morning to us or good night to us, we like, man, this motherfucker didn't tell me. But hold on, because we gotta be mindful. Everybody they got their own world. Everybody got their own thing going on, right? There's a great book, I don't know if you ever heard of it, called The Four Agreements. And they talk about not taking things personal, right? Game changer for me. And I realized, because I drive school buses, and so I'm driving the bus early in the morning, kids get on the bus, good morning, good morning, good morning. Ain't none of them talking back. I said, man, these motherfucking kids ain't talking. But I realized, hold up, Josh, you did the same thing when you was their age. When you came up in the morning time, you didn't tell your bus driver good morning. So I realized, like, all of us are constantly all of us in a constant state of just being overly sensitive, but not from a space of like being feminized, not in that capacity, like sensitive to just the smallest things that activate us, right? So the goal, right? The goal is to get to a regulated nervous system, right? So we're talking about flexibility. We're talking about handling stress and returning back to a calm state with ease. So I want to place emphasis on this. We got the sympathetic nervous system, parasympathetic, right? The sympathetic nervous system deals with fight and flight, right? It deals with fight and flight. Parasympathetic, rest and digest, okay? So most people, when they think about a regulated nervous system, think, well, I just need to get to the parasympathetic side and then I'll be good. No, that's another extreme. You want to get to that extreme because you over here on this extreme, but the goal is to incorporate both because you want to have flexibility. You don't want to be a person that's just too relaxed because you have no motivation. You got to move, you got to do something in life, right? But you don't want to be too active where you can't relax and get prepared for the next day to be recharged. So you want to have both. So let's say, for instance, you got a goal that you want to achieve. You know that while you're getting to that goal, you got to put a lot of effort, but you got to also have a lot of relaxation too, because you're going to burn out, right? So you need that sympathetic nervous system. It's not an enemy. We just need to balance it. But you need it because it gives you energy to do the things you need to do. But we also need the parasympathetic nervous system to put us in a relaxed state, in a calm state, so we can recover and heal, right? When they tell you about, in certain spiritual practices, when they talk about meditation and things like that, right? Notice that your brain waves, especially meditation, your brain waves are calming down, right? Then people start having experiences, right? What that's showing you on a real deeper level is that when you're in a relaxed state, different things happen in terms of spiritual evolution, emotional health and wellness. Like, it's kind of like, to me, I kind of look at it kind of like, it's like the heaven inside of you that you don't know that exists. It's like so many things can happen in a rested state that we just not aware of. And of course, like I said, with meditation, people getting the downloads, they start seeing visions, you know. And so I'm like, it's something about relaxation. I feel that society has, I would say, I feel like it's an attack on the nervous system. Let me just say it like that. And I mean in the sense of they don't want us to be in a rested state. They don't want us to be in a rested state because it's like that's the hardest thing for us to do nowadays is just be rested. Like not be so much in our mind and be more in our bodies. And to me, it's like it was a game changer for me, especially when I got the breath work, because I'm just like, if only we knew the level of peace that we can achieve without no one, it's a game changer. It's a game changer. So we're talking about flexibility, right? We want to incorporate the parasympathetic, I don't got it written on here, but the parasympathetic and the sympathetic, we want to combine both of them and that's harmony, right? Okay, and so before I move forward, any questions, any comments, anything? I'm good. Okay, so what we about to do, we're gonna do a tension practice, okay? Now, this is a game, okay, where, well, let me just tell you what the game is, okay? So basically, you're going to feel where tension is stored at in your body. This is going to get you out of your mind, get you in the body, okay? Now, why is this important? Because every day we're storing tension in some areas of our body. Some people store it a lot in their neck and chest, some people store it in their stomach, some people store it in their back. These areas are the areas where your body feels that this is where I feel, or this is where I need to store this emotion, and I feel that this is the area it needs to be stored at. Most people who are very mental, it's like the neck, shoulder area, right? Most people who have a fear of like doing stuff, they have a lot of tension stored in the stomach. So everything's synchronized, it's intelligent, right? But this is important because if you have, say instance, you have tension stored in the stomach, you need to ask yourself, what are you afraid of? What are you not trying to pursue? What is something that is like really beating you in the gut, so to speak, right? If you have a lot of tension in the shoulders, ask yourself, what are you over excessively thinking about, right? So these are all ways that the body communicates with you. So what we're gonna do is, we're gonna do a tension practice where you guys are gonna imagine a situation, something that may be present, something may happen years ago. I suggest something that is kind of bothering you, you know, something not too deep, but maybe like a 5 scale. You're gonna close your eyes and you're gonna imagine a situation. And once you imagine that situation, I want you to bring your awareness to where you feel the tension in your body and then point it out. You can use your hand and say it feels like it's right here. Okay. Once you have that tension, I want you to rate it on a scale of 1 to 10. 10 being that it was a very extreme, 0 being that it was light.
So mine's like a 6.
6? Okay. What's your name?
Jordan.
Jordan?
Yeah.
Put J. 6. What's your name?
Mike.
Mike. And what was yours?
This is the physical tension in that part of the body, correct?
Yes.
Okay, probably about a 6.
6? Okay, great.
I'm gonna go about right around the same 5, 6.
5.
Range.
5. What's your name again?
Devontae.
Devontae. You said 5 or 6?
Yeah, we can go 6.
Okay.
I don't like 666s, but hey, you know.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Okay, so y'all felt the tension and y'all felt where it was at, right? All right. And so we got the points, we got the scale. Okay, so the next step is I'm gonna teach y'all some practices and we're gonna see if we can get these numbers down. This is how you gauge emotions. This is how you gauge attention. It does not have to be like this. In a lot of the communities, they talk about, oh, you know, emotions are supposed to go with the flow. Well, for men, for me, I gotta have some type of structure. So this is a way where you can structure the tension, so to speak. You can feel it and you can release it and get it down to a 0, okay? So, how y'all feeling in terms of movement today? Y'all feeling like y'all wanna get up and start doing some movement? Yeah. Okay, so this first exercise is called Shake It Off. And what this basically means is, let me give y'all an example, put on a little bit of music. What this means is, so they was doing some research and was trying to figure out why don't they store trauma in the body? And they realized that when, say, a gazelle is running behind a lion running behind a gazelle, right? I would love to see that. Okay, so they realized that once the lion, the gazelle has like found a way to break free, it finds a safe space, shakes, right? And so humans are similar to the animal kingdom. So also another more modern example, women are the most intelligent creatures. They know what to do, how to do without no instructions. It's the reason why women go to the clubs a lot and why they have to go to the clubs. Because they feel stress, what they do? Twerk, shake, move. They're dancing and they're processing. That's why they're like, oh, I had a great time with Keisha and all, and we had a great time. I'm like, it wasn't nothing. But what we do?
Stand around.
So we ain't getting, you know what I'm saying? We ain't getting none of the joy, we ain't getting none of the fun. They over there shit, come on, baby. I'm like, nah, I'm good. You good, babe, go ahead, do your thing. I'm gonna just sip on this one. But it's like, we need that too. So you can look at it like this, as example, what we'll be doing, where we're just gonna basically be shaking rigorously, like just shaking your hands, your legs, and everything. Okay, so I'm gonna play some music. We're gonna do it for like maybe 2 minutes or so. And this, okay, so you just shake off and just let your body move, right? Don't think about it, just let your body go. Take these damn shoes off. Just keep shaking, just keep jumping. Shake your hands, just let it go. Just let it go. Just let it go. No judgment, let it go. Who cares? Just let it all go. Get out the mind, get in the body. Get out the mind, get in the body. Shake your hands, shake your torso, shake your shoulders. Let it all out. Let it all out. Be the kid again. Just let it go. Just let it go. Just let it go. Just let it go. Keep going. Keep going. All right. All right. Okay. Okay. Now take a moment. Bring awareness to your body and just pay attention how you feel. You may feel a little bit tingling sensations in your hands. You may feel a bit of lightness in your body a little bit. You might just feel a little lighter. You might just feel just a little lighter, right? Okay. And so the next practice we're going to do, it's called a marching practice. So basically, you're going to stand still, and you're going to cross. You're going to lift one leg up, and you're going to cross. Yep, just like that. Just like that. So we're going to do that for 1 minute. 1, 2. And just be intentional about it. Be present. Make sure you have your awareness on your body, not in your mind, on your body. And just keep crossing over. This is connecting your mind with your body. You're connecting the left hemisphere of your brain with the right hemisphere of the brain. And you're developing that unison with both sides of the brain. Sometimes we use the left a little bit more than we use the right. So this helps to balance both brains out. And just keep staying present with yourself. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, take a moment to reflect how you feel, any sensations, anything that's moved. Okay, all right, and now, so I see that a lot of people have neck, right? So we're gonna do a neck practice. Now you guys can sit down for this. Okay? And so what you're gonna basically do is, you're gonna grab your hands, right? And then you're gonna lock them in, and you're gonna put them in the back of your neck, right? And then once you put it in the back of your neck, you're gonna allow your neck to just fall gently to your chest. And make sure that your elbows are just relaxed. Unlock your elbows. You're gonna close your eyes. And you're gonna keep your head straight. You're not gonna turn it. Just keep it in the center. And you're gonna look to your far left and imagine yourself trying to look at your earlobe. Okay? And you're gonna lock that position. So just focus on your earlobe and lock that position for about a minute. Okay? Put it on your neck. Your neck. Now relax. Put it on your neck. Okay. And then just relax your neck. Just bring it all the way down to your chest, just like that. And then look at your earlobe, your left earlobe, and hold that position.
Just looking at it, not shifting the head.
Nope. Just hold that position. Just hold that position, looking at that earlobe. Imagine yourself looking at your earlobe with your eyes closed. Just hold that position. This is so you're looking at your left ear. Okay, and you hold that position. And now we're going to bring our eyes back to center. And now we're going to focus on the right ear. Okay, you're going to do the same thing you did to left ear. You're going to focus on the right earlobe and hold that position for a minute. You may start to feel your arms getting a little bit more relaxed. And if you feel tension in this area, just bring your awareness to it and just relax. Just relax anything that you feel that's tight. Just let it go and just relax your arms as best as you can. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, you can relax your arms and put it on the side of your legs and just bring awareness to your neck. See if you feel that it got a little bit lighter. Your neck may feel a little bit more relaxed. You felt any tension release in that neck practice?
I was messing around. I didn't realize something is in your neck that's connected to your eyes. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Because after I did both sides, I started doing this left and right, and I could feel like something like right here on both sides.
Okay. So
Yeah.
that, and if you did that intuitively, that's great. That's it's a practice called EMDR, and that's how you release trauma.
Okay.
So I didn't have you guys do left to right, but that is what they do in that practice.
Okay.
Because you can still get the benefit of just doing one on each side, but also if you feel like this, works the same way. And it's interesting that your eyes carry stress, and
Yeah, something was, yeah.
you felt some like tension moving at.
Yeah.
Yeah, that right there, it's like when I do a lot of like overwork mentally, I'm here, and every time I do it, my whole body just starts to cave in. It just love it. Okay, so that's another coping practice you can utilize. So right now we have the shake it off, we have the marching, we have the neck practice. So now we're gonna do some breath work. Now, I want to place emphasis on something. When it comes down to breathing, right? A lot of us are breathing incorrectly. It's called paradoxical breathing versus regular breathing. Paradoxical breathing is incorrect breathing, which is, well, we're going to actually test it out. So I want you guys to put your hand on your chest and one hand on your stomach, right? Now, what I'd like you to do is take a deep breath in through the nose for 4 seconds, and then out the mouth slow. Okay, we're gonna do it again. And this time I want you to pay attention to what hand moves first. In through the nose for 4 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4. And exhale out through the mouth. Okay, so what hand moved first? Was it the chest or was it the belly? The chest? Or to do it again then, because it seemed like y'all like, I don't know. So let's do it again. So to take a deeper breath. You're going to have to take a deeper breath, okay? So we're going to take a deep breath in through the nose. 1, 2, 3, go. In through the nose. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale through the mouth, nice and slow. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, so what hand moved first? Chest.
My stomach, my stomach moved first.
Your stomach? Okay.
Yeah.
It was just
Chest. Okay, so chest, this is what we call chest breathers, right? This is improper. Most of us breathe from the chest, not from the belly. So we're not receiving enough oxygen because we're breathing from the chest. You want to have deep belly breathing. So think about a fish, right? We see a fish when it's definitely on shore, the belly is, think about a dog, right? When it's sleeping, the belly is breathing. The belly is moving. Think about a baby. The belly is moving, not the chest. So over a period of time with constant stress, we start breathing from this space, and we start breathing like this. Think about the time you get into a shock or some type of trauma. You're like, chest first. It's never this, right? So we retrain our bodies to be more chest breathers. And this is how most people have more chronic stress because they're breathing from the chest, not from the belly. That's why when people say, take a deep breath, which I hate when they say that because they're not being specific. But when they say breathe from they say take a deep breath, they mean from the belly. So I want to place emphasis on this because if you can retrain, because I learned this, I was like, what you mean? 30 years of breathing from here. I'm like, I'm doing meditation. I'm like, I'm killing it. And I went into a certification. It was like, you know, it's the right way to breathing, right? I'm like, what you talking about? It's like, no, the right way to breathing is from the diaphragm. I said, what you talking about? Well, I was just confused. And they started breaking it down to me, and I realized, like, oh shit, this is a real thing. So I highly suggest you guys, whatever you're doing, watching television, whatever, try to practice changing your breathing pattern from up here to down here. It would change the game. A lot of times we have mental fatigue, foggy, that deals with lack of oxygen. We don't receive enough oxygen just breathing from the chest, right? So the more that you're able, like naturally, if you just, like it's supposed to come out first, like Santa Claus. It feels weird too. It's gonna feel weird because you're used to breathing up here.
You know, so that makes a lot of sense because I used to watch like a lot of meditation videos, and they would like emphasize the stomach, but I didn't know that that was like the way that you were explaining it. That
Yeah.
That's why it
Yes.
does what it does.
They never say it. They
Like, that
right,
makes sense.
right,
So now
because.
I'm like,
Yeah, and because right when you think about meditation, because we always wonder what makes meditation so powerful.
Yeah.
Because when they say take a deep breath in, and you're like, okay, but you don't feel nothing because you're not getting enough oxygen to the brain. Meditation helps you calm down your brain waves. But if you're not meditating deep enough, you're not getting the effects. Everyone's like, oh my God, it feels so zen. And you're like, man, zen? What y'all talking about? I'm on my 20th breath and I don't feel nothing because you're not taking a deep enough breath. And it's the part of the body that you're not breathing from. The diaphragm is where you want to breathe from, not the chest, right? So in my breathwork practice events, which is more diaphragm breathing, that's what I do, diaphragmatic belly breathing. That's more of my breathwork practices or events. That's what we focus on the whole entire time. A game changer, okay? But that is the first step to properly breathing. A lot of people don't know about that. So if you can start properly breathing, you'll feel your energy change just off of that one technique, okay? Conscious sigh. Now, we do this unconsciously. So I call it conscious sigh. A conscious sigh is when you, if I'm talking to you, be like, so man, what you got going on today? Your body naturally releases tension when it does that. That's a form of release. The body naturally does it. So we be like, damn, oh man, I gotta do this, because now you're thinking of all the stuff you gotta do and it's stressful. Your body talking to you. That's a way to let you know you're stressed, right? So say, you know, I got some examples, right? if you're in a relationship and your girl's like, oh, babe, can we go to the store? And you know what I'm saying? Your body's naturally doing that. So I call it a conscious side because now that you know that's what your body does naturally, what happens when you do it consciously, right? So what we're gonna do is, wherever you felt your tension at in the body, you're gonna take a conscious side to it. You're gonna bring your awareness to it. You're gonna bring some breath to it. So let's say it's in the neck, right? So you're just gonna do a natural side, right? And just relax it out. So focus on the tension that's in the body, and we're gonna do it 10 times. Do 10 sides to that area. 1, 2, 3, begin. There you go. And just go with the flow. Go with your own pace, go with your own rhythm. And you can exaggerate it, you can release it, you could just let it out. If you got a grunt, whatever you feel, your body's intuitive, listen to it. And just focus on the area that you just want to release. And when you get to your 10th breath, you can pause. That got me a little tired. You feel like you done took a little something.
Yeah.
You feel it?
Pulling all that oxygen.
Yeah, that's it, right? It's simple practices that could just alleviate so much in a short amount of time. So, did you guys feel any experiences with that? Okay. So, that's what I said. That's called a conscious side. We do it all the time, but you can do it consciously. And you could do more than 10 breaths. You can do 20 breaths, 50 breaths, however you want to do it. The point is, the breath is the easiest way to get to the nervous system, because we're talking about nervous system regulation. When you think about anytime you feel a panic, if you could pay attention to your breath has inconsistencies in the pattern. So when somebody's like, how you feeling? You're palpitating, right? You feel like that inconsistency in your breathing pattern. Now, if you can control the breathing, you can connect directly to the nervous system and you can relax the nervous system. So when people like I said, it's a pet peeve of mine. People on social media, just breathe. What are you talking about? We're breathing. But be aware of where you're placing your awareness and how you're breathing. It's all conscious. Everything's conscious. The more conscious you become, the more the body's like, hey, I see what you're doing. All right, that's what you want to do? All right, I'm going to benefit you. I'm going to give you a reward for that. You know, we're just helping the body out, right? So last practice is a 4x4. So we're going to do 5 sets of this. And so what this basically means is we're going to inhale for 4 seconds. Oh, matter of fact, let me put that back. We're going to actually inhale for 6 seconds.
That's right, I'm sure.
Okay. We're going to inhale for 6 seconds. And so inhale for 4 seconds. I'm going to count with you guys and everything. We're going to pause for 4 seconds, and we're going to exhale for 6 seconds. Now, we're not just going to be breathing. We're going to be breathing, but the trick to it is wherever you feel the tension at, try imagine yourself squeezing real hard in that area, right? So I'm going to give you an example. I'm going to show you an example. So say I got something in my stomach, right? So I'm going to do inhale for 4 seconds. Pause. Relax. Okay, so the pause is where you put all your might into it, squeeze as best as you can. The exhale is the most important part, because when you're on the exhale, that gains access to the nervous system. The more that you can control your exhale, the quicker you'll start to get to your nervous system, more in the parasympathetic state. The inhale is the sympathetic. The pause is to release more tension out the body. The exhale is to get to the goal, the home, right? So I want to place emphasis on the exhale. Try your best to, some people when they exhale, they go, don't do a quick one. Slow it down. slow it down. That's all we're talking about, slowing our bodies down, because we're very active, right? We want to slow it down, right? Okay, so we're gonna do 5 breaths, 5 cycles. So I'm just gonna go back to back with you guys and just listen to my guidance, and yeah, let's have some fun with this. So you guys can close your eyes, and I'm gonna walk you through it, okay? So on the count of 3, you're gonna make sure you take a deep breath, okay? On the count of 3, 1, 2, 3. Inhale through the nose as deep as you can. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause and squeeze. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 6 seconds. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, we're gonna do another round, all right? When you exhale, try to exhale through your mouth because it correlates to the body. On the count of 3, 1, 2, 3. Inhale through the nose. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause and squeeze. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 6 seconds. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, we're gonna bring it back again on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Inhale through the nose. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause and squeeze. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, we got 2 more rounds. On a count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Inhale through the nose. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause and squeeze. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, slow and control. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, last round. On the count of 3, you guys. 1, 2, 3. Inhale through the nose. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause and squeeze. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale nice and slow. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay. Now just take a moment to reflect and just sense how you feel right now. You may feel a little bit more relaxed, a little bit more calm, a little bit more tension has been released. How y'all feeling? Huh?
About 3.
You about a 3? So as of right now, you say you had a 3?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's 50%. What you got? 3? What you got?
I'm at like a
2? So that was these real quick practices that took about a good 50% or so more tension out of the body, right? So now you say, okay, well, how I get down to 0? You just do a repeat again. So these coping strategies, I highly recommend whatever resonated, that's what you stick with. I personally use the 4x4, well, I actually go deeper than this, but 4x4x6. And the neck practice, the shaking off, conscious breathing, like those are like the things I resonate with. So whichever one of these you really resonated with, I highly suggest you try to add it to part of your regimen, part of your health and wellness regimen, because y'all see it for yourself. Like, just the more that you get into deep breathing and being conscious of your breath, the more that you can alleviate and keep the pressure from becoming over pressurized. Your cooker, your pressure cooker, it needs to stay like at least 0, at least close to 0, because we always gonna be stressing about something. But you wanna try to minimize it, and this stuff like this, like if I'm going to an event and I feel a little anxious, I'll be in the car, just breathing it out before cause I gotta get grounded. I gotta feel grounded before I go somewhere. And like I said, you can do this anywhere, right? And so, yeah, man, that's pretty much it, you guys. I don't have anything else too much to share. Yeah, just try to stay present with your body more than anything, because we are more mental creatures. So if you can just take a moment to, when you feel like you're just in the head, and this is so interesting, when you're in the head and you pay attention to your body feels very silent. It just, you might have a couple of aches and whatever, but for the most part, your body's like, yo, what are you doing up there? Like, it literally is, they say like this is the longest path is from the head to the heart. And we don't stay in the body enough. And a lot of times the reason why we stay in the body enough because we don't like to feel. And like I said, that could go back to our social conditioning. But the more that you're able to stay present in your body, the more that you have actual pleasant experiences. Because anything that we experience in life is being predicated upon the emotion that we're trying to feel. If we want to have $1 million, there's a feeling behind that. If we want to have a relationship, there's a feeling behind that. If we want to have a car, there's a feeling. So we don't really chase material items and possessions and people and places. We chase feelings and emotions. We're emotional creatures. And so we have to understand that in order for us to function in this game called humanity, we need to know how to process and handle our emotions, right? And so yeah, you guys, thank you for just being present and listening. I appreciate you guys.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate you, man. I needed this more than I thought.
Okay.
And particularly, you know, I might, the first thing that we did to shake it off was a great introduction to kind of just like
Get the body just, yeah.
That probably did the majority of the work.
Yeah.
Just literally getting you out of where you were.
Yes.
Like and just moving the body in that kind of way. I might and then there's a wedding planner, friend of mine, Fresh Johnson. She's done this thing over the last several years called 30-second dance parties.
Mm-hmm.
And I might just like incorporate that into the day. You know? Like just take a minute and just while out.
Yes.
Like maybe 3 times a day.
Yes. Yes.
Just to kind of reset.
100%. Because the thing about it makes it so powerful. Because say for instance, you don't know where a lot of your emotions are stored at. You don't know where a lot of the tension is stored at. This is like, you know what? It's like a Kamehameha wave or something. Like you're just gonna spirit bomb your body. You're just gonna just shake it off, shake it off, shake it off. In a short amount of time, which you're really, just like I said, we're animals to a degree. So it's like if an animal shakes trauma off, that's what essentially we're doing. And like I said, it'll be areas of your body you never even know that's tense. But if you're shaking like this and you're shaking like that, you're like getting all of the areas of your body, all the crevices, the creaks, everything. And I love that practice too because I do feel energized. I feel like very like giddy a little bit. And I like to do it too because I have the tendency to be in my head a lot. And I think too, it's just like, for me personally, like I'm always trying to connect to that inner child in me. So that to me feels like I'm connecting to my inner child, like my inner essence. Like I don't want to take life serious. Life is already serious. I'm gonna let life do what life wants to do. I want to make sure that I keep myself balanced and grounded and making sure that I'm level-headed because, you know, we get out in this world, all this can go out the door because it's like we have so much stress in our lives that sometimes we don't want to do some of these things. We just want to go to what we used to. And so I think that this is important because you can't say you haven't learned something different. You can't say that, I don't know what to do. You know, if someone's you have a friend you're trying to talk to, you're like, man, I think you should try this. And he just like, nah, I'm gonna go smoke some weed. But it's not to judge them, it's just that's all they know, right? And so that's why I think it's so important that, of course, that's part of my message is to help men understand, like, bro, we don't have to do all this. Like, there's other ways we can help ourselves. And so, yeah, man, so I appreciate you sharing that, yeah. How you guys are feeling? How y'all vibing?
Yeah, I'm feel really good. I think I love, the entire, like just going through the entire workshop was really good. Just to be mindful, like remind yourself of things that you can do to relax. I take my health really seriously because I know, because I watch how my dad moves with his health, and it's not like he's unhealthy or anything, but he puts it to the side. Like it's only going to be a thing when it's a thing, but not like a maintenance.
Proactive.
I see.
Right. Reactive versus proactive.
Right.
Yeah.
And I often think, like, even with mental health, he's somebody where he knows what he wants, but he doesn't want to give it to himself. You know what I mean? Like, I'll wait, it'll happen, I'll think about it, I should have, could have. So for me, I'm like, I just gotta go for it. So sometimes, like, me using that free will helps my mental health a lot, because I'm like, okay, I want to do something different today. Why not? Like, just choosing to do something different helps the way that I process life, The river, they just opened up this new part on the river.
Oh yeah.
And you can walk from Poitras to Poland.
Okay.
Like, they opened up the full thing, and it's just a really nice. Would I ever try to go to the French Quarter of the park to go on the river? Like, I just don't want to deal with all of that. But one day I just decided to go just see what it was, right? And just in the evening, just walking along the river is really a beautiful sight. Especially if you're somebody that's in the boats and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
You get to see them, like, with the little sunset on it. So yeah, just choosing to do something different.
Yeah,
really
like kind of diversifying the ways that you find ways to cope with yourself. And that's a good point too, because the city is the city, and we do have some nice areas where you can actually just find a space to relax and stuff like that. But because nature too is really like the best way to also just get some level of relaxation, because we're stuck in either our cyber worlds or we're stuck on things that's going on in our personal lives. And so, they always say, man, just go take a walk. Just go take a walk. I find that when I'm in nature, of course, the biggest thing is, like, all these practices, this helps you become more present. That's the whole goal. Like, we need to become more present. And so every practice, from yoga to meditation to even working out, that's being present. Because when you're working out, you got to focus on your muscles in order to build them. You're not going to be thinking about something happening yesterday and you're trying to lift the bicep. Now, that's what happens, though, because we're so in the head. And I think that when you get to the point where you're lifting heavy weight, you can't think about nothing else because you could hurt yourself. But that whole practice is to be present. That's the name of the game with all this stuff. Even when we're having sexual encounters with our partners, we're present. Like, and then I'll throw this out here just to throw it out there. Then you have moments where you are, say, love making, and you're thinking about something that happened at work. And I can attest to that because I've experienced it. And it's like, damn, Josh, why are you thinking about something at work? What? Right? And so when we talk about presence, it's just like, that does feel like that's also a part of this game of, like, trying to keep us from not being present with ourselves. A lot of times we live in the future, worry about the future. A lot of times we worry about what happened in the past, what happened yesterday. And like, but damn, how many times you spent on today? Like, what happened today? I went to the store, and it's like, but when you went to the store? Oh, it was yesterday. No, what you did today? And it's like, you just never get the answer because we're either in the past or in the future. And so the mind plays that game. And so I'm just like, breathing, breath work, or just conscious breathing in general, or just being conscious in general is really a remedy for life's ups and downs,
So I'm definitely one of those people, and I'm sorry, I'm a hush up after this. I'm definitely one of those people that like to make the connections with everything. And I like to, like you said, be present. And sometimes, like, I pull back so I can listen in here. But, like, even when you were talking about comedy, and now I'm like even pairing that with breath work, like laughing is
Yes.
breath work.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And then finding a way to like take, like if you're talking about Richard Pryor, you think about a Bernie Mac,
Yeah, yeah.
who are taking their real lives that is not the best situation and making it funny.
Yeah.
You know, and then that has a whole community of folks that's laughing at something that otherwise should have taken us out. You know, so like I think it's like all of those different things
Yeah.
are embedded, and I feel like especially in a black community, how we leave or our ancestors have left like little Easter eggs that we can't necessarily see, but we tend to go to. Like even like you said, like the just natural sigh at certain
Yes.
things, or you know, like I don't know, maybe running when you're laughing or whatever it is, or just the things that we cook or whatever. But in particular, we have a really great way of laughing at some really dark stuff. You know what I mean? So I think it's so necessary in our
You're
community.
looking at just even Instagram every day or just Black Twitter. You know, we make a joke out of. I mean, that's how we cope.
Right.
That's
And
what-
Right.
We still got to deal with
And
it.
if you don't, what are you gonna deal with? How are you gonna deal with MAGA? You
Right.
don't
Yeah.
have a sense of humor.
It's-
At this point,
you,
Right.
you gotta laugh and cry.
Or,
Yeah.
or do this.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
much.
Thank you.
And-
It's a
So
lot.
Yeah.
usually
I love that.
usually we pair something that we're doing with men's meditation and health with some conversations, but that's the majority of our time today. But I had one question for everybody, and it's really just to kind of get us in a good headspace, or even a better headspace as we leave out of here. What is one thing that you are proud of yourself for? Like something maybe recent or, you know.
I'm proud of myself for coming here tonight.
Yeah.
I got Darren text me and I was like, I don't know, I forgot the word.
Yeah.
So, the fact that I was just like, show up and then, this was a really great presentation. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Dad.
Yeah, I'm proud of myself for coming and I feel like the reward is instant.
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree.
For me, I've been telling people I'm proud I retired. A lot of black men don't have that luxury. I don't need anything else. I have the kind of money and stability and whatever that I think a lot of our family and ancestors fought really hard for and never got it.
Yeah,
Never got it.
100%.
So I'm proud of that. And I'm proud. I'll be 70 years old my next birthday.
All right.
Hey, let's go.
I didn't
So
put
that's
you
a-
there.
That's
That's
another
a
thing.
good.
Being alive.
Yeah.
Yes.
Being alive this long, again, black male life expectancy.
Yes.
When you look at that, and then you look at all these stressors, and things that are going on, I don't believe in accidents.
Yeah.
I don't believe in accidents. I think that a lot of the stuff that we're dealing with, there's a good reason
Yeah.
why as black men we're dealing with.
Well, that's a blessing. I would put you in your 50s, but all right.
Yeah. Yeah, at least 50, 60, yeah.
20 years ago.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you know that famous saying, "Black don't crack." So you really never know. You really never know no one's real age. Especially when we take care of yourself, you start reversing age, and
You gotta take care of yourself. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys for showing up. So for me personally, I'm proud for being president right now. I'm proud for this, you guys being president, and I'm able to teach what I love. Like I've been in this space for a while, but right now, I am looking to bring more men into these spaces and raise awareness. And so I'm proud of me, man. I'm doing a lot right now. I'm taking risks. My business, I'm like getting into it. I'm like leaning into this. And so just to know that, I had somebody to talk to, someone to teach this to, because I love teaching. So I'm proud of all kind of things, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's a lot of things I'm grateful for. And yeah, man.
some good fuel to keep going too.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
I could absolutely say the same. Definitely proud that I came tonight. One of my wife has been saying that a lot recently. Like, I'm proud of you for showing up for yourself. Because sometimes you just, you just don't feel like it. You know? But almost always, after you've done it, you're so happy that you did.
Yeah, it's always like that. It's always like that. It's like, damn.
So I'm really thankful for this. I'm definitely gonna pull some of the tools that you gave us. I'm definitely gonna shake it off.
Yeah.
A couple times a day.
Yeah.
And definitely get into my breath work. That's an easy, give yourself 5 minutes to kind of
That's it, bro.
reset yourself.
That's it, bro.
Multiple times a day. And then the other thing that I'm proud of, I just had like the busiest spring in business as a primarily wedding photographer, but
Okay.
do a couple more things. But the busiest spring that I've ever had in my 10 years of business. So
Okay. Business is booming.
business is
Yeah.
business.
Hey, people get married.
Listen.
Man.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
a blessing. So I'm gonna relax a little bit for this summer.
Yeah.
Because down here, a lot of people think, elsewhere anyway, summer is wedding season.
Yeah, it is.
Oh,
But
okay.
It is majority other places. Here it actually slows down because it's just so hot. Yeah. So
that
the
makes
people
sense.
so
I'm
it's
from California. So
oh, right. So
Okay.
summer is booming.
California.
Yeah. But so for here, this is like the off-peak time. So June, July, August is typically
Huh.
off-peak. So weddings are a little bit cheaper, and because it's hot. So yeah. Yep.
I can see that.
Yep.
That's interesting. And that makes a lot of sense. I mean, this weather today was just crazy.
Yeah.
The tropical storm or something like
Yeah, I
that.
didn't even know we were there.
I didn't even. Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, we're in a hurricane season, I think, too, right? Yeah.
We are. Yeah.
So,
I appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all coming out.
I appreciate you guys coming out. I really do. And like I said, I do have more, I would say, advanced breathworks. So this was like a introduction, but I do have more
Pleasure meeting you, sir.
You as well, bro.
profound breathwork experiences. I'm gonna say that. It take your socks off. It take your socks off.
I'll be keeping in touch.
Yeah, definitely. If you guys can follow my social media,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, get your socials.